Some time ago, I already introduced you in detail to these two compact hot air guns from Makita and Bosch. In today's video, we're focusing on another device in this series, specifically from DeWalt, placed right in front of us on the table, the DeWalt cordless hot air gun DCE530N. It's also a super compact 18-volt device. In today's video, we'll take a comprehensive look at the features of this cordless hot air gun, how it performs in testing, and whether or not it's worth the investment. I would say let's not waste any more time. Let's start right after the intro. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel and activate the bell to not miss any future videos. You can find the current prices for this device in the video description below. Thank you for your support, and let's get started after the intro. In today's video, I have a new device for you from DeWalt, the cordless hot air gun DCE530N, a nice compact 18-volt device with hopefully many features and a lot of power. But what the device really has to offer is what we will thoroughly explore in today's video. However, I want to mention beforehand, for those who haven't seen the videos about the devices from Bosch and Makita, you can also watch those again. I'll link the videos in the top right corner on the info card. Today's video focuses on DeWalt's device. For this reason, let's take a direct look at what's included in the package. Let's see what nice additions come with the Solo variant. As you can see on the right, there's the typical stack of papers consisting of warranty conditions, safety instructions, and the actual user manual. Following that, 3 small nozzles, and finally, the cordless hot air gun, the DCE530. That's it for the package contents. In my opinion, definitely completely sufficient. But of course, what's missing is a charger or batteries. You either need to already have them or purchase them separately. You can find links to those in the video description below. And with that, I would say we can finally take a direct look at the actual cordless hot air gun and examine it in detail. Starting with the exterior, there's not much to say. The cordless hot air gun, as we're accustomed to from other DeWalt devices we've already presented, is extremely high quality in its construction. I couldn't find any plastic residues. We have uniform gap dimensions, and the device gives a very robust impression. Although it's entirely made of plastic, it's extremely lightweight. The Solo device weighs only around 530 grams, plus a large 5 ampere-hour battery, which I would definitely recommend, in this case a power stack battery, bringing the gross weight to around 1270 grams. This means that even with a large power stack 5 ampere-hour battery, the device, in my opinion, is by no means too heavy and, as evident, still extremely compact. When measured, we have a total length without the nozzle of only 160 millimeters. Thus, the device is exceptionally short. This definitely plays into the ease of use because the device is also, in my opinion, very ergonomic and feels very comfortable in the hand. Taking a closer look at the handle, it's ergonomically shaped. The handle is comfortable and secure to grip for both right and left-hand users. It's completely rubberized, providing extremely high slip resistance, and the controls are easily reachable without changing your grip. If we examine the controls of the DeWalt cordless hot air gun more closely, it becomes apparent that the device is primarily designed for right-handers. On the left side, there's a small lock for the right-hand thumb, which is absent on the other side. However, I can say that DeWalt has done a great job with the controls because, as mentioned earlier, the device can be easily activated or locked. The only thing that might take some getting used to, depending on the device you're accustomed to, is the small release at the front for the index finger. It needs to be pushed upward to unlock, not downward. Only then can I activate the device. In terms of handling and operation, the DCE530 from DeWalt is, in my opinion, definitely top-notch. There's nothing to complain about. What else is there to mention? I suggest we continue at the bottom of the machine. Here's where the battery is located. It's an 18-volt device from DeWalt, meaning we can only operate the device with 18-volt batteries from DeWalt. And it doesn't matter whether we use power stack batteries from DeWalt, a regular DeWalt XR battery, or even a FlexVolt battery. The only crucial factor is the battery capacity, which determines how long we can continuously use the device in one go. In the practical test, I used the large PowerStack 5 Ah battery to optimally power the device. I'll discuss the achieved battery life separately shortly. Before we switch to the test, a few words about the remaining features of the device. As clearly visible here at the bottom of the machine, a small LED for illuminating the workplace. The LED is essentially the same size as the one on the Makita device. This means you shouldn't expect a really large illumination from this hot air gun. However, the LED is definitely sufficient to light up the workspace so that you can see what you're currently working on in front of the device. The only thing I would wish for here, as evident, is a residual glow function. So much for the bottom of the machine. There's nothing more to see here, and that's why I would say let's now switch to the head of the machine. One of the most striking points is, as already mentioned, the extremely short construction of only 160 millimeters. At the back, quite unspectacularly, is the air intake for cold air. Then inside are the heating elements, followed by the contact protection in black at the front and the air outlet right at the front. The practical thing is that DeWalt directly includes 3 matching nozzles in the standard package: a wide slot nozzle, a reducer nozzle, and a reflector nozzle. Of course, there are additional nozzles that you can buy separately. However, I must say that the 3 nozzles are actually more than sufficient. Depending on what you intend to do with the blower, you already have a very extensive range of functions that you can operate separately with these 3 nozzles. The assembly of the nozzles is done the same way as with the other devices that have already been tested, meaning simply attach the nozzle to the front and that's it. What's quite positive to mention, though, is that DeWalt's nozzles hold extremely well. This means that even if I shake the device very strongly, you can see that the nozzles don't fall off on their own. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for all devices. The only downside, on the other hand, is that the device has neither a cold air setting nor a nozzle release mechanism. Accordingly, I have to wait until the nozzle has cooled down before I can manually detach it. Instead, on the top, we find a small black slide switch that allows for a 2-stage temperature and airflow adjustment. Slide forward for the low setting and backward for the high setting. In the first power level, according to the manufacturer's specifications, the hot air gun achieves a maximum air volume of 109 liters per minute and a maximum temperature of 290 degrees. In the second power level, which is high, it reaches a maximum air volume of 190 liters per minute and up to a solid 530 degrees. On paper, the blower is definitely performing quite well. The question is, how does it look in practice? For that, I thoroughly tested the DeWalt DCE530 in practical use, as mentioned earlier, with a large PowerStack 5 Ah battery. I fully charged the battery before the test, of course, to provide maximum power and endurance. Additionally, I used the previously introduced thermal imaging camera. If you haven't seen the video yet, I'll link it in the top right corner on the info card just to visually and measurably present the results. I started by measuring the warm-up time, meaning activating the device at the highest power level, too, while regularly measuring both the time and temperature. I observed a relatively high temperature of a solid 200 degrees at the device's output after just 9 seconds. This means the hot air gun is ready for use in a very short time. Furthermore, I found that 250 degrees were reached after 16 seconds. After that, the temperature begins to stabilize. In the further course of the test, I also examined the hot air gun in other applications, such as using the reflector nozzle to soften plastic pipes and then easily bend them. Similarly, I can use the reflector nozzle to thaw frozen pipes or remove stickers or paint with the wide slot nozzle. In terms of versatility, there are no limits with a hot air gun. After some creative experimentation, I took it to the next level and conducted a stress test. For this, I used another PowerStack battery from DeWalt, also with 5 Ah. I'd also fully charged that one in advance to see how significant the battery consumption is, or rather, how long the device can really last at maximum. For this purpose, I operated the blower continuously for a total of 5 minutes and documented the results. I can say that after a total of 5 minutes of continuous use, I measured a maximum temperature of 330 degrees at the output. This doesn't match the specified 530 degrees, of course. However, it's essential to note that the ambient temperature during the test was around 10 degrees. Furthermore, the device, as expected, is quite power hungry. The large PowerStack 5 Ah battery showed a remaining capacity of 2 out of 3 bars after 5 minutes of continuous use. This means that with a large 5 Ah battery, you can achieve a maximum runtime of around 15 minutes. Overall, I can say that the DeWalt cordless hot air gun, the DCE530, performed quite well in my opinion. The device is extremely compact, super handy, and sufficiently powerful, especially in power level 2. For those who want a slightly longer runtime, they'll probably use power level 1. However, the power is slightly lower in this mode. A runtime of around 15 minutes in power level 2 with a large 5 Ah battery is, in my opinion, more than decent. For those already in the DeWalt ecosystem and looking for a compact, handy, and powerful cordless hot air gun, the DeWalt DCE530 is definitely a good choice. Now, I would be interested to hear your thoughts on this compact DeWalt cordless hot air gun. Do you have any experience with this device? Feel free to share your comments below. I'm eager to hear your feedback. So, if you enjoyed the video, please show it with a thumbs up to support my work. If you haven't already, quickly subscribe to this channel and activate the bell to not miss any future videos. You can find the current prices, as usual, in the video description below. Thank you very much for your support, and with that, goodbye until next time.